Welcome to the Schnitzel Show. I'm Wolf Schnitzel. My guest today is Lise Billon, one of the leading voices in modern French alpinism, a mountain guide, expedition climber, and leader of France's women's national alpinism team. She spent years in remote mountain ranges and was part of the team awarded the Piolet d'Or for the ascent of Cerro Riso Patrón in Patagonia. I met Lise at this year's Frankenjura Festival, where we talked about women in alpinism and how ideas of heroism and the conquest of mountains have long been shaped and mostly led by men and are now being questioned. We also discussed Patagonian Chimera, a film directed by Guillaume Broust, where Lise is both narrator and key collaborator. It follows her, Fanny Schmutz, and Maud Vanpoulle on their ascent of Cerro Torre, blending expedition footage and animation to challenge traditional narratives of heroism, Freud, and the patriarchal framing of alpinism. From there, we explore why we're drawn to the idea of the hero and what it means to rethink adventure beyond conquest. Thanks for coming, first of all, Lise Billon.
Wow, thank you for having me.
Lucky me, there was a climbing festival, or still is a climbing festival here in Königstein in the Frankenjura. It's the first time for you in the Frankenjura?
No, I've been here like several times, like two or three times, but I never get the chance to properly climb here. So,
did you get the chance to properly climb?
Not this time either.
And it's a shame that Melissa Laneve has actually climbed all the routes she's probably wanted to climb here, so you cannot.
Yeah, I can't come back with her,
no.
But I will come back by myself. I'm a big girl. I can do that.
I think you are, and looking at your tick list or at your achievements, I think it's a really funny thing because, you know, I think, and I'm not sure, maybe you can expand on that, I think female alpinism is maybe not as regarded as like sport climbing, like, you know, female sport climbing. I find it really hard in a way because when I talk to people here, for example, of course you're French, but I think you are one of the most hardcore, strongest female climbers, alpinists in the world. People don't seem to recognize you all the time, you know. Some people know you because if they're into this alpinism bubble, but I find that really strange, you know.
Well, it's the same. I mean, it's the same. If you ask, it's two different scenes. We always compare, like we always put them all together, but the mountaineering scene and the climbing scene, the sport climbing scene, are like two completely different scenes. So even though you would ask them about a male mountaineer, they most likely won't know him either. So I mean, some few, but very little.
I totally agree. I think it's a good point you just made. You know, there's a difference. There are different professions.
And we talk a lot about that with Melissa. And it's really two separate worlds. And the way it works and like, yeah, it's really different. Even though we are sharing the same, you know, kind of passion for the verticality, for the life, for the communities and stuff like this. It's I really do think it's a very two separate bubbles, and mountaineering is a very, very small and elitist bubble.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But it's really interesting that you talked to her about it, because I actually had the same thought before I knew that I'm going to talk to you and potentially Melissa also, because you know she's not an alpinist.
No.
She's like a hardcore boulderer and a hardcore sport climber, and you're like a hardcore alpinist.
Yeah. And
you still climb, obviously.
Yeah.
But
we still share that together, like, because she's a good friend of me, and but we talked a lot about that because she thought, for instance, like coming in Hautes-Alpes, that it's all the same word, and when we are talking together, we are like, oh no, that's definitely not the same word. Because we try to compare and to say, oh, we are at this point and we are at this point for like different thoughts and dynamics, and they're like, oh no, that's way different.
Yeah, and also there used to be maybe the conception in the past that, you know, sport climbers or strong sport climbers or boulderers, no, not boulderers, but sport climbers develop then to become an alpinist when they're kind of getting older. I think that used to be, it does happen sometimes, you know, because then they start also changing into more expedition style, professionalism.
Well, see, that's a difference. I always thought like good mountaineers always are always becoming hardcore climber after being sick of expeditions and
really
and having pain all over the body.
But there is a big movement, I think, not a big, but you can tell me about it, in Patagonia and in Chalten, in a way that, you know, people like Caro Nord or Babsi Wiggle, you know, like people coming now, females, a lot more women come now and just climb hard shit.
Yeah.
Is that something you have kind of like also observed over the last 10 to 15 years?
Yeah, for sure. And also like traveling the world and knowing also Babsi, like we went on an expedition together, and she's a good friend also. It's like, for what I can observe is also every country, like you were mentioning, like nobody know about me here. Every country really knows like people from that country also, like even more in mountaineering. And so Babsi is barely known in France. I'm barely known in all the German speaking countries. It's just, you know, yeah, really, and it's also true for males. We barely know the history of mountaineering in Germany. And you know where I figured that out? I went to a ceremonial for Laura Tiefenhaler in Italy, at the Messner thing, and it was on a Messner museum, and I walked through the history corridors where they were like trying to explain the origin of mountaineering, and I just freaked out because it was not what we've learned in France about where mountaineering is born, you know. So it's just, we are living, it's very funny because the Alps are a small range, but there's so many different cultures around that small space, and that we are not even agreeing on the history of our activity. So it's kind of funny.
I think it's still a developing sport, you know. It's a younger, in a way. I mean, it's not a young.
It's not younger. It's older, because climbing is coming after mountaineering. That's
true. Alpinism, hill walking, they used to call it in the UK, going up the hills, mountain hiking. Of course, it's probably one of the oldest things we've done in the past, to cross the Alps, to go from A to B. You know, I'm just thinking, like, I think it's developed now to become more profession, you know, like there's more bouldering now, sport climbing, expedition climbing. It's more diverse now in a way. It's became more structured or something like this. But you're right, totally. There is no definite history of climbing, because it's developed in different areas, or alpinism, you know.
And to coming back to your question, like when I started mountaineering and doing expedition, it was like almost 15 years ago. And they were like internationally, like in France, there were no women. We were maybe 2 or 3 doing expeditions, and on an international stage, there were like not much more. And it's really funny because most of the time journalists are telling me, yeah, so what about the all-female team, and why with men, why with women? It's just like, at the beginning, I didn't have choice. And then I wanted to be with women because just I wanted to get rid of the seduction part, you know. But then I had no choice. And there is also a human fact. It's like, you can be friends with everybody. You can respect, I'm respecting all my, all the climbers, but doesn't mean I have the affinity to be friends and just laugh. And
of course.
So then no, I'm very glad I can even choose with who I'm going. Just women, because I can go with my friends. Where before, if I wanted to go in the mountain with a girl, I would have to take a risk that maybe we won't get along very well together. But when I'm saying not getting along, it's not like fighting, but it's just like, sharing the same sense of humor and saying the same bullshit and, just
No,
eating.
I totally, and I'm really happy you mentioned this, because, it's for a man, it's probably not even, this issue didn't exist in a way, There was a selection, of course, other way around also, but in a way it's like you said, and if you put your life on the line, you're going somewhere where you have to suffer a lot, it's dangerous, you don't know if the weather's changing, you don't want to go with someone you don't feel comfortable with. I mean, there needs to be some really good connection that you feel like, okay, I'm willing to sacrifice myself, or I'm willing to get you off the mountain, if it's possible, you know.
Yeah, but yeah, so I can really relate to that, and I can also. It's funny because I'm training the what you have in Germany. You call it the expedition team. In France, we are calling that the national team. It's like the French way. And but I'm training the national team in France, and I can really see that the next generation is already different. There is much more women and much more like there is a lot of them.
What would be the characteristics of these kind of characters coming out now, these young women?
What you mean?
You mean like what you said? There's something different. There's something new coming now. Are they are they more empowered? Are they just? I mean, are they the same? Or
just there are more of them.
Okay, it's just the mass, just more people.
Yeah,
more
there's
females.
more. Yeah, which was not that common before, and we can see that on the selection. Like when I was on the national team myself, we were 12 girls. Pretending to enter the team, and now when we are doing the selection there are 30 of them.
Okay, it's
with a very good level.
Yeah, I get it. So there's
and
more people,
younger.
more females now just wanting to get into the national team for the expeditions.
Exactly. And what I can see also is just when walking through the mountain, before I would be the only women, we are still like not many of us, but when you walk into a hut, it's more common to see women now, and when you're walking on a glacier, it's much more common to see a women team on easy stuff and on harder stuff. But I think where it's the most obvious is on easy stuff. Before they were most of the time maybe one woman, on very crowded route, and one woman led by a guy, and now you can see parties of women.
Yeah,
and I think it's just the good way for evolution, like going step by step.
Yes, and also having the option to go with have more women teams, and like have all other things not really important.
Yeah.
Next to the climbing, like the stuff you just kind of mentioned.
And it was really funny because it was maybe a month ago, I think. We were with Melissa on the parking in Seus, both of us on our van, and we were laughing about ourselves, and we were like, "Look at us!" And we say, "From our generation." I mean, because there were a group of girls traveling with their van, and they were all around 25 or something like this, and we were like, back then, when we had their age, we would be the only girl on the group. And there would never be a group of girls like going for a rock climbing trip. It would be a group of male.
Yeah, and you just join as a girl.
Exactly. And we're like, wow, that's changed. And we're like, oh, fuck, we are dinosaurs now.
Yeah. We're getting old. We're the old gang now at the crack.
And it's just cool. It's just
yeah. But it is better, I think, just to have it mixed. I mean, in general, first of all, like also for women to be able to access this sport, or to go climbing, to go bouldering, to go trad climbing, to go into the mountains, and
it's
just
to
access.
Dare to.
Exactly, to have the mindset and to be empowered.
And that's what changed with before. I think back then, from my generation, when I was a teenager, women would dare less about dreaming of. Not daring to take action, just dreaming of. And now I get the feeling that we are in a generation where women dare dreaming of, and that's the first bigger step.
Totally.
Wow.
Which brings me to a really good kind of change now to the subject. You've made a film called I don't know if it's rightly pronounced, Chimera.
Yeah.
How would you call it in French?
Chimère Patagon.
Okay.
But in English you can say both way, because I look on the internet to know. So you can say chimera or chimera.
Both is possible.
Both
because it's Greek, obviously, the origin.
Yeah.
And that film is
Patagonian Chimeras then.
about a route in Patagonia.
Yeah.
It's about a route you climb with two friends, which
Yeah.
are women.
Yeah.
And it's really interesting because it's a mixture of animation. You are doing the narration, you're talking actually. And it was screened on the festival here in Frankenjura. Tell me a little bit about the film. What is it about?
Well, it's not only about a route. It's more about the ideas we are pursuing and our deepest motivation we are pursuing through our activities. I really do think we are all I really do think we are all neurotic, especially in the mountaineering world, because we are all trying to break some boundaries. Like, even though you come for the sport and to break records, you're trying to break something. You want to, how could I say that? Yeah, you just want to break the box you're fitting in. Kind of.
So like crossing limitations in yourself, or being able to overcome some things you don't believe
overcomes
in.
That was the word I was looking for. I think it's all these kind of activities we are doing because they have no meanings on themselves, and it's the same with rock climbing. It's just to overcome some stuff within you. No need to be like big things, but it's always you need to find what is your deepest motivation. Mm-hmm. And so I wanted to talk about that, and that's why the idea of the chimera that you're pursuing, because it's always an idea when you catch it, when you catch a summit. Mm-hmm. Normally it will end up here. Why are you not happy to have caught your goal? Like, you're succeeding on a route in Frankenjura, you're sending action direct. Why are you keeping on doing that?
Usually just because I go for coffee afterwards.
Okay.
I do it usually on Sundays and just come for a coffee at Ursel's.
Well, that's a good motivation.
No, I never tried it. I just did the start to the one and then I climbed down. But it's an interesting topic. I mean, like overcoming. I mean, when we talk about this Greek mythology. Yeah, this figure, this being. I mean, first of all, I think it's a being which is like quite hard to put together. Yeah. There are different aspects of it, like different animal parts. And in the Greek mythology, in the story, the thing gets killed in the end.
Yeah.
So, but you're talking something in that film. There's a different message, I think.
Yeah, because through the time, the ideology, the Greek ideology just transformed a little bit, and you can also see it as a Jung. Jung. Yeah. Jung. If you interpret the story of the chimera through a Jung, prism. You can say that it's all the your shadow that you want to
shadow work, so to speak. We're going into deep psychology now.
Yeah, but I mean, there is Freud on the movie. I mean, I picked up Freud for a good reason. But
why not Jung? Freud is a bit funny, but hey, he started it. It's okay.
He started it.
Give him respect to the elders.
And you represent patriarchy.
Huh? Sorry. I just heard like Ursula dropping a plate. It's fine.
Well, Freud is the man who represents patriarchy. Mm-hmm. I know. I'm sorry. It's going to be a bit complicated, but the chimera is a dark creature. It's a very dark creature, and it's the things you want to face in yourself, and somehow if you so. You don't want to kill it properly because it's a part of you, but somehow you're chasing it and you want to solve it. And but the deeper you go and the deeper it becomes, and that's what represents. And for me, when you reach a summit, when you climb a summit, you want to climb another one, and you go deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. So it can either bring you to your end, or either you're facing that and it's giving you brighter light.
So just to kind of like make sense in my brain, you're trying to express that overcoming mountains, getting to the top, is kind of like bringing something up in yourself, bringing something out, or getting the option to have a mirror in yourself.
It's giving you the option because I mean, it can be something like very conscious or
Yeah.
can be very subconscious. It's just like when you go back home, you feel happy and you're not diving into your deeper thoughts, and that's it. And you're happy with that, and it's okay also. But that at some point is bringing you happiness. You're healing something within you because it's. I mean, that's a fact.
Yes, and it's really funny because, not funny, I'm really sorry, this fridge just went on, I'm like going off my head. But no, if you see it like this as a reflective tool, I'm just struggling a little bit because I think I would totally agree with the fact that you just, what you expressed, but I think a lot of people are not using this as a tool to reflect.
That's what I mean. It's not. I'm using it as a tool.
Ah, now I understand slowly.
And at the beginning of the movie, I wanted to make it like a free voices, but we had a lack of images. And for instance, you can use it just as a sports tool, but even though you're not reflecting deeply on yourself or on your thoughts or whatever, it doesn't mean that it doesn't bring you happiness. And just the fact that it's bringing you happiness means that it's a therapy for yourself. And reflection is my way. It's not the way of everyone's, but just a sport way, like just feeling fulfilled about the achievement you accomplished, is also a way.
I mean, Bernd Arnold, there's a really nice kind of like short film about Bernd Arnold in the Saxony, and he says like he used to ask himself a question, or he asks himself the question when he goes out climbing, why am I here today? What's going on? He uses it as a reflective tool. He uses it as a space to be able to look inside, probably also because of repetition, because he's done it so many times, so he has
to have a meanings.
Oh yeah, you have the means for it. So, but I really like that way of. I mean, it's probably strenuous as well, but yeah. And then now you talked about Freud, and then the Jung kind of aspect is that now in modern deep psychology, it's more about integration, not about just taking it out. Integration. So
integration. Sorry, yeah.
You accept, integrate.
Yeah, sorry, it's just me.
So yeah. So I'm just trying to put trying to kind of like expand on the fact that like you have these demons, you have these faces, you have these things in you, which are maybe the lion, the goat, the serpent, all these aspects of yourself.
And most of all, I think in the activity we are doing, because we are facing risk. Mm-hmm. And so we have behavior which can be considered as suicidal kind of, because why are we putting ourselves on such a situation? So if you keep on doing that without reflecting, at some point you go to your death. Even though you keep on going on doing it, it's just like at some point you thought about it and you decided on your own that it was worth it.
But if death is just a door, does it really matter?
No, but that's because you thought about it. And when you're 20, you're not thinking about that. And it's just like a bunch of, and we are coming to Freud and Jung, and we are just the addition of every social situation we've been experiencing before. And if you're not able to question that, then it's sad what you're doing.
I totally agree, and I think that's the basis of philosophy. Who am I? What am I in the world? What is it really?
So I really do think mountaineering is a very philosophical. It's an art. It's like pointless, but fundamental.
Beautiful. No, it's really nice the way you just explained that. It's true. There's no point.
It's true, but it's a way to express. And so we come back to why Freud. It's because I wanted on the chimeric chasing. I wanted to talk about. That's the one question that's coming back quite often: what it is to be a woman in the mountaineering scene. And I just wanted to explain that is a pointless answer that we have. Why? And that's reflecting the whole world. Why, as a woman, we still have to justify our place in the world.
Yes, I get it. So this whole question of how does it feel to be a woman in the mountains?
It's like we are pursuing a place, and we are pursuing a position that we shouldn't have to pursue. I know, but that's why I picked him up, because he had such an importance. And what is very funny, the Freudian therapy are there is 2 countries in the world where Freud is very, very still very important. Is France and Argentina.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I mean, like the therapy in itself,
Yeah.
There's still not the Jungian thought, but it's more Freud.
Yeah, like the 2 Freudian countries are Argentina and France.
Yeah, but you know how many Nazis went to Argentina after the war?
Ooh.
How many Nazis went to Argentina?
Yeah, I know.
You know, it has also a dark side. You know, like Bariloche, for example.
I know.
You know, a really dark history of Nazis leaving, disappearing, but then having their little German circle in Bariloche.
Yeah.
And hanging out, and everybody kind of knew, you know, they're like NSDAP.
Yeah.
So.
I know, but that's why I chose him, because at the end, well, I don't want to tell the end.
No, please don't. And I don't even know if anybody understands this, but this is so interesting. So you picked him for a certain reason.
Yeah, because it really represents what is patriarchy, and also because the population is studying in Vienna back then. Is
in the Freudian Institute,
is all the people with a lot of money, like bourgeoisie, and that's the same people who are setting up the rules of what is mountaineering now, because that's the same people who are going and chasing mountains back then.
Interesting.
And it's very interesting, because he said a bunch of bullshit, Freud, because he wasn't able to see his own contradictions, but he said also truths. And one of the truth, and then the most, I mean, the tricky part is like he said truth, which were very true for the population he was studying on. That excluding a lot of people.
Yeah.
But that's the population who set up the rules of mountaineering. And among them, as like people dealing with the frustration of not being conformed and like very restricted by a very hardcore ethic, and not being able to be themselves. Like people, they were answering to a big etiquette in society, and people were just growing neurosis and frustration because of that, because they had no choice of being what society was. And I think that population, even though they were the one with the most money, was the most frustrated one.
So would you try then, like, was your experiment of Chimera the film also a little bit to kind of open up that door and to provoke that, to have a phoenix, to have like a meaning or like a symbol of destruction?
Totally.
Yes.
Totally.
Yeah.
You're making a point. And it's very interesting, because on that patriarchal world, it was like really much to and I mean, the mountaineering, it was really much about showing big muscles and macho things. Yeah. And I do think and that comes to the history of Cerro Torre, which is a very, very macho history of it.
Yeah.
It's like about men with big balls showing that, and
either get up or just bolt themselves up.
Exactly.
Even Compressa Route is like a symbol for that style and for that conquest. I need to get up there.
Exactly, but
with any means.
But even when they remove the bolt, even like it's always a meaning of, you know, the man defeating the nature.
Yeah.
It's like, and this is what romanticism is talking about. I mean, the literal, meaning of what is romanticism, that a man in front of nature, but it's a story of man dominating nature.
Dominion. Just controlling it.
Exactly. And I still do think mountaineering is about that nowadays. And it's not like criticizing where it's coming from, it's just recognizing it and trying to take a lesson out of it, like what's that history is teaching us. I don't want to judge my history, because back then what he did it with what he had, and I'm able to have my thoughts nowadays because it came before.
That would you call an anachronism? You know, would you actually judge someone with the understanding you have now in looking at Freud 100 years ago?
Exactly.
He was breaking down barriers for sure in a certain area, but he was also limited in his time.
Exactly.
Not like Nietzsche, but Nietzsche went mad. So
yeah,
for the reason, I think, because nobody understood him.
Well, there was a theory like Nietzsche became mad because he didn't have any roots compared to Jung, who had a family which were his roots.
Yeah, I think, this is very discussable. I think for me, like my analysis of Nietzsche would be like he was not understood, and then also like for certain complications in relationship terms, maybe he struggled to kind of like find his place.
Yeah,
it's tricky to kind of pronounce, that God is dead, and in a time where the church is still authority over many things, but probably over everything.
Yeah,
but
it depends on the definition of God. Yeah. But maybe it's not the topic of the
no,
podcast.
I think it was institutionalized God, but it's not super complicated because some people don't know Nietzsche, But anyway, so Chimera is an attempt to kind of recognize the past, but also like reflecting on yourself, but also reflecting on the.
Well, Chimera will be on the movie will be the young vision of the world.
Yeah,
where that's why I'm not mentioning him. But
I'm glad I didn't watch it yet.
You didn't?
No, I wasn't there on Friday night.
Really?
No.
So for me, as a Chimera is definitely as the representation of the way of thinking of Jung.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I put Freud because I'm questioning Freud on that. And for me, Freud is really representing the patriarchy of the world and the mountaineering world, and the world in general is still really based on that, because the point of Freud is interpreting what a woman is through the eye of a guy who hasn't managed his own frustration. And that's why. Well, sorry,
okay,
maybe I'm going a bit far. And
no,
it's
you're
a bit
not
hard
going
in
far.
English,
It's totally fine. I'm really enjoying this talk. The only thing is what I'm sometimes thinking about is like, I struggle sometimes with, I studied social science. I know exclusions. I don't have had them that much because I'm a white man, now middle-aged. I'm getting like old. But the thing is, I'm really glad I'm able now to talk to people like also like females also like who express this, and it sounds stupid even to say have the courage, but like to challenge this whole of this past and this upbringing, because I also understand that my socialization has had that, and I didn't like it, by the way. I didn't like this aspect of this. We started before when I said about the trad climbing, male dominated, in England, really strong, always about bravado and macho. And I didn't like it, like for me, one of the best experiences was going bouldering with a bunch of women a few years back, even it sounds a bit weird, like a bit, I don't know, but it was nice. They were pushing each other like mad, but I didn't have that feeling of competition that much. It was a friendly competition. It wasn't like, I need to be better, I need to be in the hierarchy above you. There was a mutual understanding of support. Yeah. That could have also nowadays probably happened with guys.
Exactly.
I don't want to make this, because I think we have this issue sometimes.
I was about to say that, and this movie is really meant also to talk about this, that it's not men against women, and it's not like comparing and putting things on boxes. It's more like, I really do think there is two kind of we are in a world with opposite energies, right? So, and both of them are mixed together. That's a principle of yin and yang, if you want. Yeah. So it's like the whites becoming the black, and it's just like, I do think I'm at the place I am nowadays because I managed to prove myself with a masculine with masculine codes on a masculine world, but what I could stay on that energy, and I don't know how to put that very well. I just want to I think it's easy to show the fault of the other one, like always talking about the male being macho, being better. I think
it's also responsible of the female to get out and rise,
exactly,
become strong and strong with their own character, with their own being.
Not with the same codes, with our codes. The only thing is that our codes are always be. I mean, 400 years ago we were all burned on with wood and in Europe. So our voice were shut down.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's hard to find back our voice. and to find back another way of expressing that's what is a normal. Oh, sorry, I'm getting a bit lost. But for me, I don't want to point on the man and saying that was bad. It's just what it is, and what can I do within myself to change something that can help, instead of expecting only the man to change.
Yeah, okay, that's very liberating. Thank you so much for giving me the time, time to grow.
Because I can stay on the same place and saying, "Oh, I'm
no, of course, that's also that you become a victim and you just go like everybody else is doing me not a favor,
So I'm trying to look at myself, what I can change with myself to help to move to the next step.
There's a question for you. Do you feel any loss? Did you lose anything in the last 20 years or something pursuing this path of like being with the man? Was there times where you really went like, or struggled because you had to communicate on their level, you couldn't express maybe feelings? I don't know. Is there anything you could have or would have made different? Like, do you feel like there's something which was a little bit encapsulated, like locked up?
No, I don't feel like this.
So you were free in a way, to express yourself.
Yeah, well, I wasn't free. I can see that nowadays, but I wouldn't have the tools.
Yeah, okay.
To do so without all the experience I have now. So no, I think I'm very glad the way it took for me.
Yeah, and now coming back to the film again, because we talked in depth about the deeper meaning of the film. And I'm running out of words. I'm really happy we're doing this talk right now because, I think it's quite a complicated topic also, And how did you come up with the idea of the film? Was it a long process? Do you know the person you or the people you cooperated with? Can you just expand on that a little bit?
So I think I'm a very creative person, and I had, because I think I'm doing better now, but I had a very lack of self-confidence. So it took me a long time before like getting the chance to put things together. And also I think I needed to have a success in mountain to feel legitimate to talk about certain topic. So when we climbed the Cerro Torre, when we came back, a lot of people, we had a lot of congratulation, and the community really cheered us for that. I was like, oh wow, I did not expect that.
Yeah.
And so maybe here I have a voice and I have an opportunity to talk and raise my voice on the way I want. So I just took this opportunity, and it was funny because I was the only one on the team to make images. So we had 5 minutes of climbing images, and 2.5 of them were it wasn't possible to use them.
Okay, well.
So yeah, it was complicated. So I came to Guillaume because I saw a movie of him, and I really liked his creative way of expressing ideas through videos.
Was he not also doing the Petzl rock trips years ago, filming some? Yeah.
And I didn't know about that, but the first mountaineering film I've ever watched, which was Azazel, was made by him. But I did not know that back then. One day I was talking to him. I was like, "Oh yeah, I love this movie." I was like,
"It's mine, man. I made it, you fucker."
But I came to him and I told him that I had a bunch of ideas, and I explained my ideas, and I really wanted to something creative with drawings and music and poetry and philosophy, and I told everything, and he understood me, which is quite surprising because I can be, very messy in my thoughts sometimes. And he said yes.
Wow.
Which was quite surprising. And then we started the work, and I tried to surround myself with competent people, because I had no skills. So I just tried to be surrounded by skilled people. So
what was your job, so to speak, in that film, like directing or filming or anything? Or
well, and I'm not sure about the translation in English, but I think direction, kind of.
Yeah.
Where I wrote with Hervé the
script, or like
the script, and also there is a lot of voiceover.
Yeah, narration. Yeah, you were
narration.
talking.
So
Your voice.
Yeah, and so writing this voice was a big work that we did together with Hervé, and also telling Guillaume, I want the movie going this way and not this way, and we did that together with Guillaume. I mean,
it was a creative process.
It was a creative, and it was like a lot of exchanges. It was like two minds in a room and sitting in front of the computer saying, "Oh, we could do that. Oh, yeah, and that." And it was like two crazy mind meeting.
Synapses going everywhere. Ping, 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 ping,
exactly.
ping, like ping pong.
So that's how we built the movie, and it was really important for me to have the drawing, because I really like the art side.
It's animation based. It's a mixture of animation and
and at the beginning I went to Guillaume and I told him, I want a camera like flying, like the dragons in Avatar. And it was like, well, how much money you have? I was
exactly.
None. And he was like, maybe you should see your standards. Like, you should change your standards. We're like, okay.
And Lise was like, I really want a dragon.
And and he said, okay, you will have a dragon. But and that's a very interesting point, because we already showcased the movie on some festivals, and when we started to think about the drawings, which was Flore Baudelaire who make the drawing, and then that's illustration, and then you need someone to animate the... I mean, I didn't know about all of that.
You just thought there's going to be a dragon flying in the film.
Exactly. I didn't know that you need that many people, to work with.
Of course, why would you? And I mean, it's when you're in the industry, you understand this, but it's...
And it was just when there was a polemics with the Miyazaki characters, with the AI.
Mm-hmm.
And we were like, fuck, it would be so easier and cheaper to make the dragonfly with the AI. What are we doing?
Yeah, the conquest of technology versus a creative process,
so it was
money,
like,
and
we debate that, and we're like, well, and we decided to use AI, and so we haven't someone who make proper animation, but we use the AI for less than 30% to complete the drawing, because we thought, well, that's a tool of the future, and we want to try to integrate it. So, we were talking about ethics with mastery, with the balls, and maybe that what we did right now is also questionable. But we were making attempts, and that's what is beautiful with art, and that's why monitoring art is you're also making attempts, and which is interesting is the way we are questioning these ethics and the way we are making them evaluating.
Of course, and ethics and morals are changing in the times, and the way we are kind of like seeing the world or reflecting on it.
Yeah.
What's next? Where are you now?
Right now, I'm in Frankenjura.
Yeah. You competed yesterday in a psycho block, the deep water solo competition.
My objective was to make it at least 2 rounds, and I made 2 rounds. So.
I only saw you on the story from Instagram because I was busy eating here. But did you enjoy it?
I really liked it. I was like a kid. I really like to jump in the water. So
you did backflips, man. Like I was like, what's he doing? Lisa's doing backflips off the halfway of the wall.
Yeah, because I knew I was about to lose. So
you just had to change your impressions. You're like, I'm going to use my other skills.
No, if you lose, you need to lose with style.
Yeah, of course, you cannot not lose with style. It's the only one way to get out of this world. Bukowski, style first. Style is a lizard on a sunny day, on the crag, on the Verdon, wiggling his tail.
Yeah.
Where can we see it? I mean, it's not out yet. I missed it on Friday.
So it's gonna be it's gonna be on Butch on Paramount.
No, when can we see it? Where can we see it? Are there any festivals coming where you're gonna screen it?
Yeah, we applied for all the festivals we know. Like, if you know some festival I am not aware of, just send me
I will send you some links for sure, because I know a few of them. I don't know
in Germany or wherever. Like, I mean, we are showing it. There is a festival in Adersbach. I want to go there.
Yes, let's do it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Norbert will come.
Really?
Yeah, I think so. We wanted to go there anyways.
When is that?
In autumn, September, October, I think.
Like September, October, I'll be in India, in Shivling. And so it's going to be on a festival all summer and all fall. And we are releasing it on YouTube next spring with Petzl, because Petzl...
Putain, it's a long time, eh? For like YouTube, it's not Instagram, eh?
No.
Next year in spring. Pourquoi?
Why not? Because
it's a long time.
Yeah, but it's because we want to put it in festivals and that
I
people
understand,
go and
don't
see.
worry, I'm just joking.
So yeah.
So cool. And you're going to India. Don't tell anybody where you're going yet. You just kind of mentioned it, but it was like under the radar. Thanks so much for being on the show. Anything else? Any last things you want to say?
No, I hope you understood what I said.